you. I'm talking to you. We see it. Talking to you. Are you talking to you? Are you talking to you? You ready? I'm talking to you. We see it. Talking to you. I'm talking to you. Talking to you. Run.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Hey, Mr. Fast, what's going on, man? Appreciate you calling up. What up, bro?
Good job, man. I've been listening to y'all for like the past 2 months, man. Y'all been having some good shows up there, man. Some good stuff, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yo, right now, battle rap is like number one. What's your thoughts on the whole YouTube ad and all of this? Leagues holding battles back, and what should they hold them back? Should they not hold them back? What's your thoughts?
I mean, when I spoke to Beasley about it, you know, a lot of the battlers, you know, they need the bread to pay the battlers, man. They're not just making the money off of the door at events. You know, they make money off of Math versus Rex still. You understand what I'm saying? So it's something that still you still need that. You know what I mean? Like they need that in order to continue to book search some of these guys continuously. So it's definitely disheartening. You know, I'm hearing that they're working on something like really, really big to take it to, you know, another level. But right now, you know, with the YouTube thing, it's supposed to be done and like squared away within the week, from what I understand. So hopefully, you know, things can get back to normal, you know, in a week, you know. But, you know, now this is a wake-up call, you know what I'm saying? And it's definitely something that Smack and Beasley need to kind of sit down and figure out, you know, proper sponsors that have no problem with supporting, you know, their movement, especially, you know, outside of, you know, the flavored cigarillos. They need to get people that have, you know, deep pockets to help fund the culture, you know, because, you know, I was talking to Diz about this like about a month ago, and he was saying, you know, once conservatives get wind of battle rap, it's gonna be over, you know, and I agree. Like, God forbid, like the LGBT community hears about battle rap, like it's just, there will be no battle rap, like there will be none, like they'll shut it down. So it's an interesting concept that when you can really consider it, you know what I mean? So, you know, let's hope that, you know, they get the ducks in order and things can, you know, proceed the way they proceed, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. Right.
Word, because Mickey, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, man, like the thing is that I think for your generation, I remember the XXL cover, like the back of my hand is like, y'all always grinding and getting that shit independent, and y'all was doing y'all thing, and y'all didn't really necessarily need a lot of the, you know, the YouTubes and like the little situations where, you know, you depending on something. So you think battle rap should have already had their ducks in a row as far as YouTube and shit like that and go indie?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm actually surprised that it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I think for a lot of it has to do with the monetization of YouTube. Before the monetization of YouTube, you know, it was pretty much like people just made money off the door, or you would have somebody with deep pockets that would come in and they would pay for certain battles. But once YouTube started monetizing, like I believe they started in like 2013, 2014, like seriously, where you could kind of really make some really good money off of it, everything kind of shifted. When we were coming up in '08, like we would just kind of, you know, we would go wherever, you know, like Lux had his joint, and you would have to do it via DVDs, you know what I'm saying? But even that stuff was being bootlegged, you know what I mean? So it was just a weird, you know, it was a weird thing for music as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, battling, you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's just how the game goes. But I definitely think there has to be some type of, you know, platform where they can get sponsors and they can kind of, you know, make money off of the ads that way. It has to happen sooner than later.
This whole contract situation is and all this shit came about at the same time. I know you see what's going on with this whole bullpen Jack Boy Maine situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I think Jack Boy kind of jumped out the window a little bit. Now, I was talking to somebody about this earlier, man, and he was saying black people have a fear of contracts for some reason. The word contract, it puts fear in black people's mindset for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's like when you hear the word contract, you just automatically get scared, not knowing that when you get a job, you're in a contract. When you have an apartment, that's a contract. It's a legally binding contract. These things, you're already contracted in life. You're already in a contract that you didn't even know about. You know what I'm saying? In regular life. So when you get somebody like John who approaches, these battlers with contracts, I'm not condoning a battler signing a bad contract. I'm more so angry at a battler thinking that John presenting you with a standard contract is the final form of the contract. That doesn't happen in business. And I think, I understand some of these guys are from the streets, and I understand that they don't really know anything about how business is conducted. But when you get a contract, that's their feeler. They put that contract out there as a feeler, and then you're supposed to renegotiate with what you get. So if they say, if John says, okay, this is what the contract is, standard, 2 to 7 years, and then 20%, right? If I'm a new battler and I have a little bit of knowledge and I see the contract, I have two options. One, I could be like, yo, this is crazy, I'm dubbing this. Or two, send the contract back and say, you know what, I just want to try it out for 9 months. And you know what, I think 10% is a little bit more fair if you want to play as a manager and you actually get me battles booked somewhere else. I can see 10% being something. Or you could say, listen, I don't want you taking any of my money, but we could do a 9-month trial period. Something to that effect. But you can't just, take a contract for face value and think, that's what they're trying to do. This is not how business works. When you get a record deal, you get a 70-page contract. When you send it back with your notes saying, this is what I want, this is how I want it to go, and then they go back, and it's a constant thing. That's what litigation is called. And I don't feel like the battlers are getting that. And they're jumping down John's back for this, when in reality, if anybody signed that contract, the people should be mad at them. Actually, the people shouldn't even really, the fact that that they showed the contract. Have we seen the Locks contract for Diddy? Have we seen Ice Cube's contract with Jerry Heller? Why does battle rap have to be so crazy, D?
Mickey, not to cut you off, bro, but I think it's mad jewels in what you just said. But at the end of the day, to play devil's advocate, we've seen the NWA movie. We've seen the type of contracts people was having. We heard about what happened with the Locks, with the type of deals that they was having. Don't you think rappers or artists in general would be apprehensive about signing a contract, given the history of even Ray Charles? Ray Charles, we talking from back in the day, people getting raped off contracts. So, is that unwarranted? That type of fear?
No. The fear is definitely not unwarranted, But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, these guys came in blindly. We have the internet. Ray Charles did not have the internet. They were Ray Charles was in the 50s and 60s in the South, where he didn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even ask anybody. These guys have access to different people that they can ask about, you know what I'm saying, and see what, Jack Boy, he's from DMV. He can hit up Ab, he can hit up, you know what I'm saying, Rock, if it was something that he wanted to do with John, and be like, you know what do you think I should do? And they would tell him, hey, why don't you send him back with a revisement? In the 80s, hip-hop had just started. Niggas didn't know anything about contracts back in those days. So, yes, they signed their life away. When was the last time, you heard somebody signing a really, really, really bad deal in the past, 7, 8 years? You just don't hear about it. It doesn't happen. People, if somebody signs a bad deal, it's because they got tons and tons of money up front, and now, they can't get their back-end money. But this is not even half. And plus they have 100 to 200 pages. These are 1 to 2 page contracts, which is basic, simple English when you read it. Like, because I saw it and I was like, this is not like legal jargon. This is like plain English. Like, so why can't you just send it back and say, listen, this is not what I like. Why can't we get something different that we can kind of come to terms with and agreement with? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like the URL contract. The URL contract it's standard for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like outlandish or outrageous. You know what I'm saying? But it could still be negotiated. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not perfect. It could still be negotiated. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like guys, when they see a contract, they don't think that they can just renegotiate it. They think that what they got is it, and that's how they feel about them, and their feelings get hurt. And then, you know what I'm saying, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. And that's what's been happening. That's one of the reasons why we don't see Show Off and we don't see Prez. Oh, well, we see Prez now, but we didn't see those guys when they left. They left because they didn't understand the dynamics of litigation.
Yeah, right. And you know what? Before I ask this next one, we got Posey on too and shit. Posey, what's good, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm here. What's good, Mickey?
Word.
What's good, Pose? How you doing, bro?
What up, Pose?
I'm good, man.
Yo, so Mick, I kind of want to follow on that and just add a comment. I'm gonna be real, bro. Like even when I was going to get my actual job, like in my career, when I was negotiating and all that, right? Like, I didn't realize how much people actually, like, before I went to, like, career fairs and all that good shit where they kind of gave you the inside scoop, I didn't realize you could really leverage your shit. Like, yo, I want this. You came back with this. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize the gravity, the depth at which, like, and I'm just saying, like, white folks, man, they go in there like, look, I'm only going, like, I live in Philly. I'm coming to the office 3 days a week. You know what I'm saying? The office in New York, I want this, I want that. Y'all need to pay for my part. Like, they go in there and ask for the whole shit. For whatever reason, you know what I mean? According to interviewers, like, they like, yo, we don't really our people just don't go in there like that. So they actually think it is binding like that. You know what I mean? Like, just from my experience and shit like that. So,
no, and that's extremely true. And for whatever reason, the battlers feel like they don't have power, they don't have leverage. But this is your creative work. You know, when you put this, you know, I was even thinking, like, okay, for instance, KOTD, right? I went searching for Daylight's new song. It's called First Breathe. And I was like, yo, is it on iTunes? He was like, yeah. So obviously, you know, Daylight, he lied. It's not on iTunes yet. So, but when I went and I searched his name, I saw his battle online. He sold on iTunes. So I was like, Daylight, did you know your battle was online to be sold? He was like, no. So not only is he missing money out on that front, but battlers, what they should be doing is selling their battles and putting and registering it on BMI, because it is an art. It's a work. It's an artwork where you can get paid for the battle in publishing. Like, these are things that battlers don't know. They don't grasp that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so every time it gets played in the airwaves, you can get paid off of these things. You know, and for whatever reason, and honestly, this is what the Mooks, the Luxes, the Hollows, these are what these guys are supposed to be telling the newer guys and bringing these guys up and keeping the culture moving forward. You know what I'm saying? That is what battling was always about. You know, showcasing and showing them how to properly move the culture forward. And now that we're in a new era of technology, that is definitely a necessity for battlers to go to the next level.
Okay. Pose, what you think, bro?
I agree. Man. I definitely agree with what Mickey's saying, man. That's crazy.
But I guess I'm lost at, like, how do you sell your own battle, though? Don't the leagues own the battle?
Well, the leagues own the footage of the battle, which is basically the video of the battle. I haven't seen the KOTD contract, so I don't know if they own the audio as well. But I believe, you know, that it goes back to the contracts again. Why can't you just sell your rounds online? I mean, I was talking to Tony Bro on the DMs, and we were talking about the Paul Kane and Hitchcock and Ransom. Back in the days, you know, if we wanted to listen to battles without having to go to the computer, we had to download the battles from LimeWire and Napster. You know what I'm saying? We would download whole rounds. You know what I'm saying? Put them on a CD. I mean, why can't you do that? If you don't want to look at it on your phone and you're working, you can just listen to a battle. Like, why can't you just do that? You know what I'm saying? And have it as an audio and sell it. Why not?
Yeah.
Even if it's $1 or $2, it's something. It's something is better than nothing, especially if they're going to be making money off of it constantly.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I guess my thing about
so
it,
wait, so,
I guess my thing is, all right, so if a battler has a battle on URL, how can he still sell them rounds? Isn't that going to fuck up the URL footage? Don't they own it then?
I don't think it'll mess up the footage. I mean, I think people are already subscribed to that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if somebody wants to sell the audio, unless it's in a contract, you know, that they can't use the audio, then why not? I don't see why they wouldn't want to sell the rounds. Like, why not? It's a work. It's an art. It's a work on. It's publishing. It's basically their writing. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't want to sell it.
That makes sense. I didn't even know you could. I never even looked at it like that. You could sell your rounds and shit. I'm figuring once you already battled the league, they paid you to come battle on their platform. So that's it. That's kind of how I was looking at it.
Well, yeah. I mean, from a video and a visual standpoint, obviously, I wouldn't suggest anybody taking that and uploading it. And depending on what the contract says, again, depending on what the contract says, if they own the works in totality, then you can't sell it. But if they don't own it, if they don't own the audio in terms of being able to sell the audio somewhere else, but they own the video, you can sell the audio still.
Okay. Niggas better be paying attention to that shit right there.
Yeah. Damn. Dropping jewels, bro. Dropping straight jewels. Yo, so Mickey, hold up. So let's go back, because you played an integral part, and it's not just the contract part, right? Like you in terms of the recruiting from different regions, like helping people get the word out about certain artists and shit like that, right? So when you was going ahead and doing that, was it any apprehension? Like, was it any, like, you know what I'm saying, you out in Detroit, you know what I mean, whether it was like, I don't know, Mike Murderers or like whoever, right, as an example, was there any pushbacks like regionally when Smack was getting guys from different regions and shit like that?
Nah, I mean, I think it was more so promoted, man. I mean, when I went and found Tone Montana and Super Rider, like, as soon as I finished watching that battle and hosting it, I called Norbs immediately. I was like, we got to get Tone Montana. We have to get him on. We have to get him on the roof. Him and Super Rider, we got to get them, because we were already setting up that roof battle. I said, we got to get both of them on the roof. So there was never any apprehension with that. You know what I'm saying? We were scouting Chilla Jones and Big K. Same thing. Like, you know, the owners were happy because it was more like, it was newer then. You know, it was more newer for the owners. They felt like the battles will always still come back to their home league and continue to battle for them. So if things are changing now, I mean, I can see why. I think league owners now want to keep their talent and only outsource them as opposed to just giving them away to the bigger leagues now.
So, man, this whole shit is fucking ridiculous, man. When did leaving your home league be the big issue and shit? Because that's when shit started turning left, it seems like, recently in battle rap.
I mean, I think it might have been when the monetization happened. You know, I remember when Blow was hitting me up for advice. He was like, "Yo, what should I do?" And I was like, "Listen, there's no other league down here. You need to be the Smack of Atlanta." And he took that advice and he ran with it. He became the Smack of Atlanta for that particular time in like 2013, 2014. You know, the same thing, you know, with all these other leagues, you know, they wanted to hold on to their talent. And, you know, obviously the battlers, they have higher expectations for their own personal careers, and they want to advance, and everybody's dream is to be on Summer Match. So obviously they want to go to the next level and go to the bigger leagues. And, you know, so they eventually are going to want to leave. But and it's no problem with that. I just think you have to at least be loyal to your home league, and I know that's something that is in a URL contract with, you know, you have the option to always go back and battle on your home league. You know what I mean? They don't interfere with that.
Because part of the whole, like, what's going on with the bullpen shit that I noticed is this, is that DMV's on some shit like y'all can't come down here, and then the Southern Battle Rap, they're pretty much saying the same thing. So like, but I'm thinking about AHAT. They expanded other places. Don't Flop had a little run through New York. Like, is expanding like bad or?
Nah, I don't think expanding is bad. I think what I really think happened was I think Jack Boy got a bad contract. Well, actually, he got a standard contract, and he felt offended by the standard contract, turned it down. They reached out to him after he did a PG. He turned that down, and then when, John was like, I want to go into the DMV and find some talent because there's a little buzz about, DMV versus the world, it was met with, resistance from, the people in the DMV. And, the history of, the DMV is like, they have a history of not sticking together. I remember when, Tony Broke talking about the Double XL freshman cover, Wale, like, he still goes through it with the DMV area. It's just one of those things where it's a very compact, area where they're very protective of their own. And, by all means, be that way, but don't do it to a fault where people are now, losing opportunities, because for a long time, the only DMV representative that they had was Tay-Rock. Like, for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So, now that light is being shed on you guys, everybody's not going to get a PG. Give these guys some opportunities, man. Negotiations can still happen with the contracts. They don't have to sign that standard thing. They can renegotiate and make it work. I think it's something that's just a phone call away that they can fix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you saying it was crabs in a barrel type of mentality, or was it just like because the region is so diverse and it is what it is, it was just like he couldn't gain that type? Because I remember hearing that about Wale. I ain't gonna front, bro. Like at that time, it was like I go down there and people like, yeah, we fuck with him, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
right.
it was a little weird. Like, what was it? It was just crabs in a barrel. Like how did that shit come along like that?
Like the DMV is a weirdly structured metropolitan area. So it's like a piece of Maryland, a piece of D.C., and a piece of Virginia. It's not the whole D.C., it's not the whole Maryland, and it's not the whole Virginia. It's like you have to be like, it's like a circular, like it's weird. Like I can't explain it because I'm not from there. I've asked many people to explain it to me, but apparently Wale was from the outskirts of the DMV. So when he repped D.C., like he was from D.C., but he was from like the outskirts of D.C. So it was like, nigga, you ain't from here. And it was like, nigga, I'm trying to put the city on. Just let me rock, and they wouldn't let him rock. And I think, there's a lot of guys that are going through that within battle rap. Like they're doing through the same thing that Wale was going through back then. Like there's guys that want to rep the DMV, but they're not from the DMV. They're from outskirts of, like, we got Baltimore, Maryland, Virginia. Like if somebody's from Norfolk, Virginia, that's not the DMV. That's the tip of Virginia. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, man. I can't really, you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't get it either. And to be honest with you, everybody who's like, even people from there, like they all seem to have different definitions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like somebody being from New York is like, what do you consider upstate? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, anything past White Plains. Some people like shit, nigga. Once you get past like 230. Like, your ass is pretty much up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from Rochester, so I'm just, like, confused either way type shit. So, But yeah, that shit is crazy to me, man. But what do you think about the idea that if I help to, like, okay, so say with that area right now, you said Tay-Rock was the main representative. He was the guy that was holding it down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And for a while, it just kind of seemed like, yeah, you had the danger zones, you had your people come through doing their thing and shit like that. But now the scene is like popping. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that helped build that shit, they built it in the dark. And then now people trying to come in, you know what I'm saying? Don't those people have a right to feel like, yo, like, what's this opportunism? Like, y'all not going to come in and not fuck with the people who helped build that. Like, are they wrong for saying that shit?
It's a give and take. I mean, I feel like they can use it to their advantage. I mean, again, it goes back to opportunity, man. Like, you always have to look at business and life as an opportunity, man. Like, if you can't be used, you're not useful, man. Like everybody gets used. Like you just have to. Like that's the way to get ahead. You're not going to be able to do it by yourself. The resources in that particular area is not at its full capacity. Like these guys need the specific outlets and the specific brands to push them to that next level. Like that's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like yes, what Ryder and what Jack is doing in that area is great, but they can only get but so far. Like they're not going to go as far as they think they can get without specific platforms, and especially the guys that's under them that's looking up to them, like the younger generations of who they are, who's looking up to them. You want to give them something to look up to. They already looking up to Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, one day I can be Rock. Because at one point, Rock probably didn't even believe he was going to be what he was. Like, Rock was like, he opened up no one. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, and now he's like the number 3 or number 2 most popular battler, period. Like, so it's one of those things, you know, where you have to give and take. You know, you can't just think you guys are going to put it all on your back and just do. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that in anything. You know what I mean? You need help in every business. You need help.
Okay. Damn. This shit wild, man. Go ahead, Pose. My bad.
What do you feel about, like, okay, look, I've been seeing Loso saying that he deserves a Born Legacy, but he has not took a PG. Do you feel like to cut the line, you should be able to build your name up on another league and then come to URL and I did my shit over there, so now I can come here and cut the line? Like, how do you feel about the cutting the line that certain up-and-comers are trying to do? Or should they be able to cut the line?
I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody who cut the line before. I can't really. I mean, like, you would have to be like super popping. I'm not sure that Loso is super popping to be cutting the line, and you know, that's no disrespect to him. But I can't see him cutting the line over there. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't. Like, yeah, you did Blackout, and you know, I'm not mad at you doing Blackout, but you know, URL, they have their ways, man. They have a way that they run their operation. And if they say you can't cut the line, you can't cut the line. So you gotta do a PG. Like, because that's that, man.
Rum Nitty did a Blackout before he became a PG. He did a Blackout against what's the dude's name in Canada? He's Dot Mob. I don't know what his name is. He battled Suge too. So Rum Nitty did a Blackout before he was a PG too.
But I think Nitty did a one-off.
Yeah, with Sneems. Yeah, in Vegas.
Right. So it wasn't a PG. It was a one-off. So like, I think the one-off. I mean, I'm not mad at Loso doing a one-off on the PG, but I can't see them giving him a Born Legacy. I think he needs to just kind of, you know, he just needs to chill, like just chill out for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because in Battle Rap currently, I don't know who's, like, with the new people, I can't tell who's buzzing, because it seems like everybody got a different opinion on it. Like, if I say Loso not buzzing, it's a whole bunch of group of people like, nah, Loso, like, so I don't know who was exactly buzzing in Battle Rap to be able to skip the PG.
That's not on URL. That's buzzing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even answer that one.
I mean, one of the names some people are saying is New Jersey Twerk, for instance, right now in the thread. They saying, well, you know, he battled Dougie at BL3. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was a PG though. That was a PG though.
It was true.
PG.
True. But not all PGs get to go to Born Legacy though. Like, some of them perform at the other, you know what I mean? Like the Hunger cards and shit like that. So I don't know. Right. I feel like the Born Legacy platform's a bigger deal, right? Like, isn't that a?
Yeah, I think Twerk got lucky. You know, I think it was I think something happened where the card was overbooked, so they had to put him on that Born Legacy card. I think the same thing happened with Chilla. Chilla was booked to battle. What's this guy's name, man? Cash Eaton on a PG. We booked him for Cash Eaton on a PG, but we ran out of time, so we had to put him on the card the very next day.
Any Given
So
Sunday
that-
or whatever the card
Right,
was.
yeah, right. It was Any Given Stuff, and they opened up that was his PG. It was a PG, but it was on the main stage. So like things like that happen sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking to you. You ready? I'm talking to you. We see it. Talking to you. Are you talking to you? Are you talking to you? You ready? I'm talking to you. We see it. Talking to you. I'm talking to you. Talking to you.